Yesterday I uploaded a video in which I talked about forgiving student loan debt as a means to stimulate the U.S. economy. In response, Cartier Stunter writes, "Too bad. You should have never taken out a loan. Why would the government bail you or anyone else out?" he asks. "That would not serve them any purpose. Duh. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Get used to it. The United States is broke, so for them to pay off $1 trillion in a bunch of worthless paper, college degrees," he explains in parentheses, "is one big-ass fairy tale." So you've got Cartier Stunter, who I am going to take a wild stab in the dark here and guess does not have any student loans to repay, asking what a lot of people are asking. Why would the government bail you or anyone else out? Well, let's start with the government bailing out General Motors for $50 billion, or Chrysler for $13 billion, or Goldman Sachs for $69 billion. Why aren't you asking why the government would bail those large global institutions out, but splitting hairs about offering a helping hand to those of us who made the sacrifice to live a better life, or so we thought? On ClutchMagOnline.com today, there was a discussion about this very topic. Not so surprisingly, some of the people who were commenting in the thread poo-pooed the idea of forgiving student loan debt. One commenter pointed out that a loan is called a loan for a reason. Well, thanks, Captain Obvious, because those of us who are paying $1 trillion in student loans wouldn't know that because, we're struggling to pay off those loans. Another commenter disparaged the idea of forgiving student loan debt because it would be unfair, she said. She has already paid off her student loan debt. Look, at the risk of sounding like a callous asshole, I'm not talking about people like you. Congratulations that you were able to repay your student loan debt. In theory, anyway, you should have more money to pour into the economy. I expressed my opinion about how we could stimulate the economy by freeing up $1 trillion that's currently going to Sallie Mae and private institutions that could be flowing into the economy. And I pointed out that unemployment in America is 9.1%. That means that there are millions of people who are out of work. No doubt, many of those people have student loans that they cannot pay. And according to the U.S. Department of Education, 8.8% of student loans are in default. What we also know is that 1 in 6 Americans, that is 15%, or a shade over 46 million people, are living in poverty. That is a 27-year high. What we also know is that median incomes in America have risen 11% since 1980. On the other hand, consumer prices have risen by 150%. People are under pressure to make do. $1 trillion of making do is being sucked out of the economy by paying student loans. I don't understand what part of that people like you, Cartier Stunter, and people like those who point out that a loan is a loan, or people who are upset because they had the means to repay their loan, aren't getting. But that's not what I want you to explain to me. Instead, what I would like you to explain is your solution for stimulating the economy right away. Not animus, not invective, not ad hominem attacks, but a salient, cogent assertion for what can be done to stimulate the economy. I'll be waiting.